Hello students, welcome back on our e-learning platform of GS College of Commerce Wardha, and I am your subject teacher for BCCA 3rd Sem Business Economics. In earlier lectures in online classes, we have gone through with perfect competition. We have started our unit 4, and in that what is market structure, classification of market, meaning of market rather, and every detail regarding the types of different markets based on time, place and competition. And as I have told you earlier also, the classification of market on the basis of competition has divided into two parts, imperfect market and perfect market. Okay, and again these two markets are divided into different forms, and what are these forms that we are going through with? Rather, we are focusing on the same classifications which we have seen in a tabular form. Now, in last lecture or before that, we have started the concept of perfect competition. Now, when that situation arises in the market, as it is a mechanism or it is such a market structure, which one? Perfect competition. It's such a market structure or such a situation where means it is a combination of buyers and sellers according to the demand and supply of a particular commodity. The demand force is related to the buyers and the supply force is related to the sellers. Okay, that we have seen. Then we have seen the ideal conditions or some characteristics where the perfect competition is suitable, rather in what condition the perfect condition is applicable. Okay, then in that we have seen the different topics and different parts, that is the characteristics like large number of buyers, large number of sellers, okay, homogeneity of the product, rather homogeneous product, okay, then perfect knowledge of market condition, okay, then we have seen the transportation cost, absence of transportation cost, government policies, etc., etc. we have seen. And what are those characteristics? Those characteristics are also known as ideal situation or a condition where the perfect competition exists in the market. Okay, it means what? If a single individual cannot affect the price of the product, there must be large number of buyers. Okay, and when there are large number of buyers, then only the competition for that product can be perfect. Okay, otherwise the concept of perfect competition is not applicable in for that particular commodity or that specific product. That exactly is the meaning of that conditions or ideal situations where the perfect competition works. Now, in today's lecture, what we will see or what we will go through with, we will see the price determination under perfect competitions. Means price determination means what? How the price of a specific product is determined, or how the price of a particular product is decided in perfect competition. Means how it is possible or how the prices are determined and fixed or decided in perfect competition. Okay, so it starts with price determination. Rather, prices are determined under perfect competition by the intersection of total demand and total supply. Okay, and here the total demand refers to the all buyers, all the purchasers, the customers in the market, and total supply refers to the number of sellers who are selling that specific commodity. Correct? Right? So it is means the price determination under perfect competition is possible, or it is with the intersection of total demand and total supply. So below table shows the details of price determination and how the equilibrium point is achieved with demand and supply forces in the market. Here we are taking an example. Okay, and now with the help of this diagram, we will see the schedule and the diagram. Okay, we will take the example of wheat or any single product. Okay, now how the price of a particular product is determined in the market and which price continues for a longer period in the market. As you have seen in earlier that theory of production, that there are two types of time period, short run and long run. Now again, in price perfect competition, this price is for short run or for long run. How it works in short run, how the prices work in the long run, that we will see further. But now here we have taken a product of wheat. We can say that this is the example of wheat, a product. Okay, now possible prices, rupees per kg. Then total demand means the buyers, okay, who are asking for the product in the market, okay, and here the total supply, and this total demand and supply is kgs per week. It means the supplier is selling and the demand which is raised by the buyers, that is again per week, okay. Total demand of the product wheat, kgs per week, total supply kgs per week of a wheat product, and here position of the price, because here we are looking for the how the price is determined, how the price is fixed in perfect competition. Okay, now we will start here with the from the table, the when the price is rupees 4, and this is possible prices, not the exact in the market, but when the possible price is rupees 4, the total demand is 1000 kgs per week for the wheat product, and the supply is 10,000. It means what? Position of the price. Here price is main focus. We are discussing about the price determination under perfect competition. So position of the price is here downward. Now when the total demand, when the buyers are asking for the wheat 3000 kgs per week, the total supply is 8000, and again when the price is 2.50, when the demand is 4000 kgs, total supply is 6000 kgs, again it is downward. But when the price is fixed or stable, here we have to do something with this particular diagram. When the price is rupees 2, at that time demand is equal to supply, means total buyers are in the market are similar to the total suppliers of the market. So here the prices are stable, and from here it means again we are looking for position of the price. But when the price is rupees 1.50 per kg, the total demand is 7000 and the supply is 4000. When the price is 1, the demand is 10,000 and the supply is 2000. Here you can observe that when the price is coming down, the demand is more, okay, and the supply is less. Okay, see here, when price is this much, demand is this much, and when the price is 1, the demand is higher but the supply is lower, and that is why position of the price is known as upward. Okay, and now how the equilibrium is decided, and this equilibrium, who is deciding this? The seller who are selling the products, okay, because it is a intersection of total demand and total supply. Okay, now here we are here taken the price. These are the prices of wheat. Correct? Then now when the price is at 2, see the schedule means this table and the diagram. The diagram is the presentation of the table. Okay, this diagram is drawn with the help of this schedule, means the diagram is the representation of this particular schedule or the table. Now when it is, this is called the equilibrium point, means the prices are stable here at the rate rupees 2. Okay, when the prices are 2, the demand is equal to supply, and then only when we say intersection, here this is the intersection point, and this intersection point is itself is called the equilibrium point. So how the prices are determined, that we have seen here with the help of this table and the diagram shown here. Now again, this is what is price determination or price fixation, or deciding a price for the particular product in the market. Now the product, okay, from the producer point of view and from the seller point of view. Okay, when the producer is selling his goods, his main motive is the maximization of profit. Okay, he wants to earn more and more profit. Now, but here the forces, means it is said that intersection of total demand and total supply, means in market structure, in market situation, the seller has to see what is the demand of the buyer, what exactly a customer is in need of. Okay, when he will sell the goods in the market, from his point of view, what he will do, here you can see, when the rates are getting down, okay, means the position of the price is that time 1.50 is the rate and 7,000 is the demand, means here the demand is higher but the supply is lower. It means seller wants to keep maximum stock with him, so that he wants to earn more profit. But as he see that the rates of the product, the prices of the product is getting down, it means he might face the losses. Okay, he might have to face the loss in the market. So what he do, when the price is higher, he is selling more product in the market. You have to do here with only with the equilibrium point, that the intersection of total demand and total supply. This is called this is supply curve, this is demand curve. On OX axis we have drawn quantity of demand and supply. Here the prices of wheat, as we have taken the example in this table of prices regarding a particular product known as wheat. So prices of wheat, here when the price is 2, okay, it is intersection point, and this intersection point is called equilibrium point. Okay, so this is how price is determined in perfect competition. In next lectures, what we will see, the prices, okay, of the product in perfect competition, in short run and in long run. Okay, we have to focus on these two topics. Which one is in short run, in long run. Okay, now when we say that prices are determined or prices are fixed with the intersection of total demand and total supply, but here in this particular sector, that is short run and long run, as we have seen in the theory of production, the time period short run, what a producer has to do or what a seller has to determine before producing the goods, he has to think about the certain limitations in case of short run and in case of long run. Okay, what is the possibility of fixing the prices in short run, or when he can fix the prices during short run period and during long run period. Okay, what are the assumptions, means what he has to think in mind before deciding the prices or before selling the products in the market for that particular product, how he will decide the price, how he will fix his product price, and accordingly he will go for continuing a particular fixed point. About that or above that, he will not reduce his prices, so that he will suffer losses. So there are again certain situations or certain positions that is called normal profit, supernormal profit, or minimum losses. That is possible with in case of deciding the prices in short run or in long run. That we will see in our further classes. But by the time you have to go through with this, once you understand this price determination, then it is easy for you to understand short run and long run, how the prices are decided, how the prices are fixed in perfect competition. Okay, so this is sufficient for today. In the next lesson, in the next online class, we will see the short run and long run period of price fixation, price determination in perfect competition. Thank you.